Hello, my name is Sophie, and I'll be performing excerpts from Half Hang Mary by Margaret Atwood. 7 p.m. Rumor was loose in the air, hunting for some neck to land on. I was milking the cow, the barn door open to the sunset. I didn't feel the aimed word hit and go in like a soft bullet. I didn't feel the smashed flesh closing over it like water over a thrown stone. I was hanged for living alone. For having blue eyes and a sunburnt skin, tattered skirts, few buttons, a weedy farm in my own name, and a surefire cure for warts. Oh yes, and breasts, and a sweet pear hidden in my body. Whenever there's talk of demons, these come in handy. 8 a.m. When they came to harvest my corpse, open your mouth, close your eyes, cut my body from the rope. Surprise, surprise. I was still alive. Tough luck, folks. I know the law. You can't execute me twice for the same thing. How nice. Before, I was not a witch, but now I am one. Later, my body of skin waxes and wanes around my true body, a tender nimbus. I skitter over the paths and fields, mumbling to myself like crazy, my mouth full of juicy adjectives and purple berries. The townsfolk dive headfirst into the bushes to get out of my way. My first death orbits my head, an ambiguous nimbus, medallion of my ordeal. No one crosses that circle. For being hanged for something I never said, I can now say anything I can say. Holiness gleams on my dirty fingers. I eat flowers and dung, two forms of the same thing. I eat mice and give thanks. Blasphemies gleam and burst in my wake like lovely bubbles. I speak in tongues. My audience is owls, my audience is God, because who the hell else could understand me? The words boil out of me, coil after coil of sinuous possibility. The cosmos unravel from my mouth, all fullness, all vacancy. And my response poem is entitled, How Teenage Girls Are Like Poetry. A 12-year-old girl bounces through life like a limerick, silly and playful, a nursery rhyme, her world light with blissful unknowing. Turning 13 is a dirge, a lament for the dead, mourning the life without periods and breasts, though innocence was the first to go. Before, I was blank verse, but 13 taught me I was a witch who could pull languages out of boys they didn't know they could speak, as if my similes could swallow them whole and my metaphors could make men out of them. Teenage girls cast their spells as regular as a rhyme scheme just by fluttering our eyelids in anapestic meter. 14, sonnet. One line for every time I got catcalled walking my dog down Beverly. At 14, I waltzed down the street foot by foot, my rhythm steady and iambic, until yet another truck driver commented on my assonance. So I learned to stare back hard into the male gaze, daring it to cross me. 15 is the year of the Hazal, an exotic bird full of beauty and pain, love and loss. At 15, you need to fall in love with your own voice because nobody will ask you to speak your theme. Like a Hazal, a 15-year-old girl will force you to look her in the eye and in the final stanza, call her by her name. If turning 16 in 2016 were a concrete poem, it would take the shape of my mother's lipstick on the ground being crushed beneath a heavy boot. Election day, 1 month after I blew out 16 candles, I realized a white man who faced 16 accusations of sexual harassment, who brags about grabbing women by the pussy, could become the president of our country. At 16, I remembered. I was a witch, and my life was a ballad with the refrain, "Pussy grabs back." You see, like good poems, teenage girls are sharp. Our wit cuts deeply like the scissors we use to cut crop tops out of everything and anything like good poems. Teenage girls for the first time are just learning how to be heard, not just read over. Go Now I'm 17. 17 years, 17 syllables, a haiku, 575. 5 years of living in this world as both a teenager and a female, ready to walk into this life as a grown-ass woman, not just because I look like one, because I want to. 7 months of marching for the causes I believe in and loving myself because there are so many more important things to resist. 5 minutes on this stage. Just enough time to make a little change in the world, or at least within myself. 18 and 19 are poems I haven't yet written, but I hope that they are odes instead of elegies. That my teenage years end more like a semicolon and less like a period, a prelude to a witchy future in which I am a poet enchantress and my truth can't help but boil out of me.